Mr. Antonopoulos, I know that what I'm going to ask you is a Herculean task, but I also know that this is your occupation. You are an expert on Bitcoin. So, somewhere out there is my dearest mother, and she's wondering, what is Bitcoin?
Bitcoin is a form of money that works on the internet. It's money that is digital, that is not controlled or issued by any government or bank, that allows people to use it just like cash, only cash that you can email from one person to another almost instantaneously anywhere in the world. And it's grown up with the internet, and it's providing a form of money for the internet. It's a lot more than that, of course, but that's a basic explanation.
There is an argument that Bitcoin is a force of democratization, a fundamental transformation of currency market. Can you explain us why?
You know, I think one of the things that we've seen, especially over the last few years, is that currency is a form of power. And when that power is concentrated in the hands of governments, they tend to misuse that form of power. If you look historically at currencies, national currencies, on average, they last about 30 years before they descend into hyperinflation, devaluation, where the government uses the power of currency to essentially create hidden tax through inflation and steal money from pensioners, from savers, and from investors in order to fund its own debt. And so we've seen that happen again and again all around the world in multiple currencies. And in fact, you can count on one hand the number of currencies that have lasted more than 30 years without having that phenomenon occur. So Bitcoin represents a new option, a new idea in the form of currencies, a system of currency that's not controlled by governments, but which operates on the internet, using an internet protocol, and is secured by the collaboration of thousands and thousands of participants, none of whom have control. There is no central location that controls it, just like the web, just like email. And so the same reason why the web and email brought freedom of communication, Bitcoin brings freedom of currency to individuals. And that seems to be an idea that's catching on.
Do you believe that 2017 will be the year of the Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies?
Well, I think so far every year since 2009 has been the year of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And we're still going to see a lot of turmoil, a lot of volatility. And I expect Bitcoin will probably move a lot this year, going up very quickly and possibly as well going down very quickly, and having a lot of fluctuations, because it is still a very small currency that is being used as a safe haven from economies that are very large. For example, the Chinese are using Bitcoin to escape currency controls and devaluation of their native currency. So I expect we're going to see a lot of exciting things, but you've got to understand that Bitcoin is still very, very early days. It's a bit like the internet was in the early 1990s, and you shouldn't expect to see the availability of Bitcoin to pay for a cup of coffee in a store near you. For now, most of the application of Bitcoin is for moving money across borders, as well as for protecting money from inflation and other geopolitical crises.
Many people believe that Bitcoin maybe is a Ponzi scheme, a financial bubble. Which is your answer to them?
Well, in order to have a Ponzi scheme, generally speaking, you need a Mr. Ponzi, and you also need a scheme. Bitcoin has neither. There's no one who controls or directly benefits from Bitcoin's growth, other than the fact that people who have invested in Bitcoin have something to gain if it becomes popular. In that way, every currency benefits early adopters, and every technology we see has a similar path where early adopters gain the most. So the first people who are on the internet gained the most from the internet, we didn't consider that a Ponzi scheme just because early adopters gained the most from their adoption. Is it in a bubble? I think yes. I mean, we are seeing not just one bubble. This is the fifth bubble in Bitcoin. And part of the reason that Bitcoin exhibits these bubbles is because it is a small currency. It is global in nature. It is very open to trading. And so as a result, you have these emotional responses. So right now, people are very excited about the price moving up, and that's going to cause the price to move to levels that are not supportable. And then the price is going to retrench. And so we see these big swings where it goes up very quickly and then it goes down very quickly.
If someone forces you to make a prediction about the future of the Bitcoin and the digital coins in general, which that would be?
Well, I can make some predictions very comfortably. I think in the future we will see a world where digital independent private currencies like Bitcoin, decentralized currencies that are not controlled by anyone, that work based on network coordination on the internet, and that are free for anyone to access and use, and open for anyone in the world to access. I think they will coexist, and they will be very successful, and coexist alongside national currencies. There's no doubt in my mind that we will live in a world where we will break out of the monopoly of national currencies, and we will see a number of very successful large global currencies based on internet networking exist in the world. Whether these will be Bitcoin or something else, or maybe we change the name or the underlying technology changes, doesn't really matter. The bottom line is that in the future we will have digital national currencies as well as digital private currencies that are not controlled by governments.